Hey everybody, welcome in to our Happy Hour Recap, Barry and Mark's Happy Hour Recap. I'm Mark.
And I'm Barry at edwardscom.net.
And we're coming at you today from another one of Sam McNulty's beer brew empires here on West 25th
He's got
Street.
4 of them.
And we're at the Nano Brew right here on West 25th Street. And you can find them at nanobrew.com.
Hey, his staple here, he has excellent craft beers at all of his places. It's truly and a fantastic patio at all.
And a staff, great staff at every place for sure. All right, so for the last 3 weeks, we've been talking about content marketing, how to get started with your business and so forth. And at the end of this vlog, we're going to talk about our free mini ebook and also that you can get. And then also, we also came up with a questionnaire that you could sit down with your team and go over. And it's kind of comprehensive and it's really eye-opening. We've got about 30 questions and you can go over those and you can really see where you're coming at from a content marketing standpoint.
It's a really valuable tool. It's a really valuable tool to get you started with your content marketing. And we have 2 ebooks sitting back there as well that's going to help you get started.
And we'll tell you about that here in just a little bit. Well, to recap, part 1, we kind of introduce content marketing and why you should be using content marketing to grow your business online and so forth. Become a person to go to within your industry, an industry expert and so forth. And also in part 2, last week, we talked about distributing that content.
Well, and probably most importantly, growing your list.
And segmenting that list.
And
being able to market different pieces of content to different pieces. And that's the 2 vlogs. You can find those on our website. Today, we're going to kind of put a bow on everything in part 3, and we're going to talk about our FAQs. There's 2 big ones we have, and the first one is about getting started and how do I get started? Okay, I'm all in on this blog thing, but Barry, what's the first thing I need to do to get started with a blog?
Well, they really actually say, should I have a blog?
Yeah, right.
And it's yes. You
After
have
we say yes.
to have a blog. You need a repository. That's the word I was looking for. Repository of archived information. It's searchable material for one. There's 2 main reasons why. Search engine optimization, SEO, and the other is so that you are getting bookmarked because people find your information valuable. They're bookmarking you, which means not only are they coming back as a potential customer, but they're giving you backlinks, which again goes back to your SEO and increases that.
But so you're talking about audience, right? So then if somebody's just starting out and they don't have an audience, how do they get that audience? And I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So, there's the social side as well. You need to, find your channel on social media. Is it Facebook? And if you're a B2B, probably not. Maybe Twitter, maybe LinkedIn if you are a B2B.
Right.
But, find that audience, find out where they're hanging out, and you start, answering questions very, very subtly.
Yes.
And you don't...
Now, this is what's important is you may not have an audience, but you still need to blog.
Absolutely.
Because you need to get your blog off the ground. You need a bit of an archive. And when you're going onto these social media outlets, you need to reference that I have already talked about this. So you need something back there. So understand that you're going to start out blogging for quite some time to build up a resource library, to build off of. But more importantly, especially early on, is the social media to get things off the ground.
Absolutely, that's where you're going to find your audience. So once you find your audience, you don't want to jump in and sell, right? I said don't sell.
Right.
So what you want to do is you want to we use the cocktail party analogy, where you kind of just, at a cocktail party, you just kind of walk up and you just kind of listen to folks and don't talk about yourself and answer a lot of questions and contribute to that conversation. And really, that's kind of where it's at. And between that and maybe sharing other people's content and leading people to other people's content to help them out. Really, that is the way to go.
It's about building relationships. That's what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And you know what? That I'm going to get right back to the blog. It's an extremely important point. How much should I blog? Where do I get this content? So on and so forth. Mark, you always tell me about, and I repeat this a lot, you talk about the 75-25 or 80-20 rule, and that is most of your content by far should be shared content, and there's 2 reasons for that. I keep saying 2. 2 reasons for that is to make your content marketing sustainable, your content market effort sustainable. so you don't burn out. 75% of that content should be shared for that reason, and the second reason, to build those relationships with complementary people in your industry.
And if these people within your industry, they notice you're sharing that content and so forth.
They will share back.
And they'll share back as well.
Right.
And that's all part of that relationship building for sure. I wanted, before we wrap this thing up, I want to talk about SEO, keyword considerations and so forth. And you always talk about long tail keywords.
Yes.
Talk about that for a second.
Long tail keywords are about the most important thing that you need to know and understand when you start launching your blog and you're doing your post.
Yeah.
We like to use the most important, most used plugin in America is Yoast's SEO plugin. WordPress, which will guide you through these important steps. I should, again, define long tail keywords. First of all, keywords. Everybody knows what a keyword is.
Right.
Back to the widget analogy. If you're trying to sell widgets and you think that you're going to optimize your site with widget, this widget, that widget, other very big companies have been doing that for years, putting tens of thousands of dollars into that effort. You're not going to even crack into that. I mean, not even close to the front page of Google. So what you really need to think about are long tail keywords such as specialized widget in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh,
yes,
right, yeah.
Absolutely. There's your long tail keywords. So when I was talking about blogging about your case histories, these are the kind of things that you're going to build up. You're going to talk about this manufacturer paint that you used on this house in Cleveland, Ohio, and people that have an interest in that will find you at the top of Google on page 1.
And so really, it's also about being the go-to person in your industry, the expert, the subject matter expert, if you will.
Yes.
And once you become that over a period of time with a bunch of blogs that you produce, finally you'll get that SEO love from Google and so forth, and people will be able to see your content and so forth, bookmark it, and go back to your site again and again when you're putting out your blogs and your content.
I want to put a quick bow on that with saying, I was talking about Yoast SEO plugin, and what they help you do is once you establish
YOAST, Yoast, correct?
like toast with a Y.
Okay, right.
Yes. Once you figure out your couple of keywords or whatever, and you put them in there using Yoast plugin, it will help guide you so that you also put them into your headings and subheadings, H2, H3 tags, and so on. But also a couple times, those same keywords have to occur in your body copy so that Google recognizes the relevance, that you're not trying to fake it out, which would penalize you. Never try to fool Google. You can't.
Right.
You will get penalized.
All right. That's about it. We could probably talk for another 15 or 20 minutes. Then we're gonna wrap it up in a bow here, but edwardscom.net, our news mojo. You can go there and get all of our premium content if you subscribe to our happy hour recap. If you're watching this,
right there in that weekly e-newsletter.
and if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, just follow the description right in the link in the description right there. It'll take you over to our website, and off you go.
Sign up. Yep.
Well, thanks so much, Sam McNulty, the crew, and at all of his places. It's such a great, it's a great atmosphere.
25th.
It is.
Love it.
We're at nanobrewcleveland.com. We're here. Come on down. Great food, great beer, great people. And until next week, when we're coming at you from another great outdoor location here in Northeast Ohio,
Have a great week.
Have a great week.